They've got different places that you can stop as you're coming around between the floors, where you can really look up or look down and just get a sense of the expansiveness of the ark. Hello and welcome to Kept in Her Heart, where we talk about all things faith-related. I'm your host, Jenny Fuchs. Today we're going to talk about the Ark Encounter exhibit. So in January of 2024, my family and I went to Florida, and on our way there, we decided to stop in Kentucky at the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter exhibits. We had a great time, and I want to just tell you a little bit about them and our experiences with them. I actually made a separate video on the Creation Museum, so I will put a link to that in the description. I'll also link it here. And then this video will just be about our experience at the Ark Encounter. So when you arrive, there's a gigantic parking lot, and you can park there, and then you actually take a bus over to the Ark Encounter itself. It's a pretty quick ride, but you do have to wait for the bus to take you over there, so do be aware of the weather and how that is. The bus drops you off at the Answer Center, where you can pick up some coffee, use the restrooms, get a map, check in, whatever. Then outside, from there, they have lots of options that you can choose from. Besides the Ark, there's a playground, Noah's Village, a zoo, zip lines, a gift shop, or a restaurant. We decided to just go straight to the Ark. You really get a sense of the largeness of the Ark as you come through the archway and its enormity as you're walking over to it. We went straight to the entrance because there wasn't a line, and we wanted to just get to the meat of things. They have lots of ramps going up that helps kind of funnel people in, and lots of signage along the way to look at as you're waiting in line during the busier seasons. Luckily, we found the beginning completely empty, and we were able to make a speedy entrance. They have these cute little animal prints on the way as well. You can kind of get a sense for the Ark even as you're just beginning. They have different cutaways that show what the inside of the Ark would have been made out of, or what it would have looked like, how it would have kept the water out. That was very interesting. There's tons of signage all throughout the Ark Encounter. I thought it was really well done. They did point out that many of the exhibits within the Ark Encounter use some artistic license to fill in the information that the Bible doesn't mention explicitly. To minimize the amount of license they took, they did a bunch of research and found out details based on ancient history about things like hairstyle, clothing, and ship design. So a lot of these will be based on historic societies. The Bible does give us a few details about the Ark, like the dimensions, the number of decks, how it's coated with pitch, but again, it doesn't explain every aspect needed to recreate the exact replica. So they obviously used the biblical details, but they also did some shipbuilding research to determine how to build this one. I really liked the section that showed the different mechanisms for animal feeding, waste removal. They were very interesting. So they created animal containers that were stacked up in what they may have looked like. And I love the practicality in the designs and how they talk about how the animal droppings could have been directed into one location for easy cleanup, and how the animals could have been quickly fed and watered in a very efficient manner. And as a mom in charge of a household, like, these are the things that I would think about. So I found that section very interesting. They also have these, I don't know if you want to call them animatronics, but like human-like robot exhibits in various places throughout the museum. Very high quality. They're often with sound and motion, so you can get more immersed in the scene and just sort of experience the exhibit in a more full way. They do talk about if dinosaurs were on the Ark and how that could have worked, how all the animals could have fit on the Ark. And they have many recreations of the different animals that might have been in the Ark as well, so you can get an experience for that, a feeling for that. They do talk about the fact that there are different cubits. So, in the Bible it says it's supposed to be 30 cubits by 300 cubits by 50 cubits, but how big is a cubit? So they talk about how they decided which cubit to use and what that actually measures in feet. They chose the royal cubit and used about 20.4 inches. So they got an ark that's 510 feet by 85 by 51 feet tall. Another interesting thing is ideas about how they captured rain and stored food in different vessels. They also talk about how 85% of the animals were probably small, weighing under 22 pounds. So they probably got a lot of baby animals, and they could more easily fit on the ark. They show maps of different decks and maybe what it would have looked like, what kind of animals would have been on the ark and where, how might they have been separated. And then it's nice that they have these different seating areas throughout the Ark because it's quite large and you might get tired and want to sit down and rest here and there, or maybe you have some small children and they just need a break. So it's nice that they've got these seating areas sprinkled in. They've got tons of different models of things within the Ark. They have some different areas where they talk about how they would have built the whole Ark, how long did it take Noah to build the original Ark versus how long it took them to build the Ark Encounter exhibit. Obviously the new one was much faster, but they're estimating maybe 75 years for the original and 6 years for the new. They've got different places that you can stop as you're coming around between the floors, where you can really look up or look down and just get a sense of the expansiveness of the Ark, which is quite nice. They've got this little photo op section where they've got a giant set of doors and a lighted cross on them where you can stop and take a picture. That was very popular. They obviously have different Bible quotes spread throughout the exhibit, and I love the different full-size exhibits where they have the human elements built into them, and then they've added the audio with the ambient sounds like it would have been at the time. It's very realistic, very interesting, very well done. They also have animated or animatronic, like Noah himself answering questions at one point. There were different questions you could ask him by pressing buttons, some of the common FAQs, and I thought that was really well done as well. Here's a sample of that.
But that was after years of designing it, collecting supplies, and preparing the site.
There's also some video screens in various parts that show how they might have closed the top for rainy times but left it open the other times to get fresh air, or how they might have gotten fresh water to drink and where they might have stored that, and then how they would have utilized it. Also, what they would have done with the animal and human waste and how they could have cleaned that up. So there's a lot of research that obviously went into this project and understanding how something like this might have worked. They also have a section with various cages and model animals to give you an idea of how they might have fit or what size they might have been. And they also have this fun little play area where your kids can go in, or you can go in and pretend you're in an animal in the Ark as well. So that was kind of a fun break from things. They also have video screens and movies at the ends of the Ark where you can rest and get some information on each deck and get educated on different things. So it's kind of nice, high quality posters in different sections as well. They have some non-Ark related things too. I believe they were from different models of how things might have been under the Roman Empire as well in Jesus's time. And they've got different overlooks so you can see down to the different deck levels. I think you really have to be in the Ark to get a feel for how expansive it is. It can fit a couple of 747 planes inside of it, so it's long. You really have to see it for yourself. There's a fun touch in the food area where they did some greenhouse-like things where Noah and his family might have grown some plants or held food for themselves because, I mean, they were on this Ark for a long time. Here they show how the dove might have come back with the olive branch, showing Noah there was dry land returning. They have a section showing how the Ark is represented all around the world in different cultures. They've got some Hebrew Bible scrolls, some of what the early translations were. A lot of very interesting things that you could easily spend hours going through and looking at the different sections. And if one area is busy, you can pretty easily move to a different area and you can spend more time or less time in the different areas as they interest you. They don't really rush you through, which is nice. It's very well done, and you come out at a gift shop right outside the Ark. Then on the back side of the Ark, there's the zoo. We went in January, but they did have a couple of animals that were inside and still available to view. We were excited to try out the restaurant and its gluten-free options, but sadly we didn't get a chance because it had just closed. Keep an eye on their hours, they close a little bit early. But if you stay into the evening and you come in the winter months, they have it lit up beautifully. So like I said, we were there in January, and so what we didn't have in beautiful weather, we had in beautiful lights. My overall thoughts is there is plenty to see, plenty to do, lots of great family fun. I do recommend a visit. Obviously, it's going to come from a young Earth creationist viewpoint, being partnered with the Creation Museum, the sister site. But I think there is lots to enjoy, even if you come from a different point of view. It's well done, it's very interesting. It certainly gives you a scale, if nothing else, of how big the Ark might have been and how it would have functioned. So I think it's a great educational experience, plus it's just fun. So I highly recommend it. Check it out. Also, check out our Creation Museum video review, which I will have linked here. If you like our content, please like and subscribe, leave us a comment so our videos get out to more people, and thanks for watching.